Hi there, welcome to the fourth video in the series Working Stress Free, and what I'm going to be talking about today is about taking a snapshot so you can identify exactly where the stress pain points are in your company. And every company is totally different, so what you and your team will be experiencing will be completely different to anybody else. Now, the importance of this snapshot is there's a couple of things to consider. One, you'll be getting a real assessment of where you are now so that you can put the plan together to make sure that you're actually really addressing the problems. I've seen this before where so many companies put together a strategic plan and literally impose it upon the people, their work staff, and sometimes that doesn't address the real problems. Now, there's a couple of things to consider with this. First of all, are you getting accurate information from your people? Now, if you've got a great culture in your organization where people feel comfortable sharing and there's no stigma and there's no deniability, things I talked about in a previous video, then you'll be getting true, accurate information. But generally, that's not what happens. I'm going to give you an example of a company I worked with a couple of years ago. Now, they had a really good working relationship with all their people. It was only a small company, 30, 35 people. It was a consultancy, and they asked me to put on some mindset training. So I did a couple of half days, some one-to-one coaching with everybody after the training, so that way they had the chance to test the work that we've been done and look at any individual challenges they might have. And prior to doing that, we did an audit and assessed the current states of stress of all their staff. Now, the tool that you can use for this is the Health and Safety Executive's Stress Management Audit. It's free. You can go online. You can put out the questionnaire to all your staff, pop it into the graph, into the Excel spreadsheet. It gives you all the graphs and gives you all the accurate feedback as to what are the causes of stress in your company. And when we got the audit back for this particular company, and bear in mind, they had a really good relationship, everything was fine, and the training was really there just because they felt that it was a good thing to do, which is a great attitude. And one of the things that were highlighted from the audit was that there was a high degree of bullying and harassment in the workplace. Now, the management team were totally shocked when they heard this. In fact, they couldn't believe it. They guessed there was something wrong with the audit. But what turned out and what got revealed from doing this audit was that people felt comfortable expressing where there were problems. It was all done confidentiality, so they could be open and honest. And one of the challenges they had is because there were lots of deadlines and it was important that things got out on time, a couple of the managers would turn up and literally impose work upon some of the people, and it would totally disrupt their normal organized workflow. Now, the management didn't see this as a problem, but it was the way they were delivering the information. They were literally interrupting people in the middle of the work, almost being aggressive with it, and it's a blind spot. They weren't aware they were doing it. So the audit highlighted that. The safe place of the coaching conversations that we had, the coaching room was a safe place to be able to express things. And 4 or 5 people said, look, these guys are quite aggressive when they turn up with the work. In fact, it was getting to the point that a couple of the key people there were literally at the end of their tether and considering leaving. Now, this is why taking the snapshot and making sure it's an honest snapshot is so important. So I'm going to keep this video very short, very simple. So I'm going to point you to the HSE audit. It's very simple to do. But do make sure that the conditions that you set up for the Teamsters is that the information they give is confidential, because then you will get a true and accurate picture of what's really going on. And only then use it to design and structure your stress management plan. Now, one of the other reasons for doing it this way around is, have you ever watched The Undercover Boss? It's a TV program. It's not been on for a few years, but it was on about 4 or 5 years ago. And there was an episode where an MD was working in one of his outlets, and it was to do with car valeting and car repairs. And up on the wall, there was an additional service they were offering to all their customers, which included valeting. And his job was just to be there and to experience working in the company. Nobody knew he was the boss, and so he was handed all the buckets and the sponges and the water to do the valeting service, and it had been estimated it was going to take 20 minutes to do a full valet. Took him 3.5 hours. Now, the thing that was ironic about this was that the whole valeting program had been designed by him. He was the one that decided the whole valeting program could be delivered in 15 to 30 minutes maximum. He'd not even tried it. And this is one of the challenges when a lot of programs are taken from top down and just imposed upon people, that quite often the changes you make can actually create more stress than they're designed to alleviate. So get the information from the people, identify where the real stress pain points are, and then you can design your program so that it alleviates those. Okay, so listen, thank you for watching. I'm going to keep this one very short. Go and have a look at the HSE audit site, and any questions, comments, observations, just ping them to me, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.